So I'm looking as a million, looking for a place to do some shows. I was doing this like 2 months ago. This is in June. Uh, Dormition of my mother. When I started back, these are one, two, three, four bigger ones. Unfortunately, I got the roommate to survive, and I decided to keep two rooms because God knows what what was their stuff. Anyway, why am I saying this? So I got some stuff here. Uh, Cause it hurts, man. Honestly, I'll tell you, I had dreams that of those two black people, which refers me to the fat woman and the skinny. Can I come with you? And again, the government, the shadow government, too. I mean, if it was not for that, I will never mention that because it's stupid. Anyways, I got my place. It's a bit messy. Usually, it's very clean every day or every 2 days. I got others that it's going there. So a bigger one, third one, gift for the Pope. And I gathered some materials there, like colors, brushes, and you see, barely had time to do it. First, I didn't have material, and I'm like, I'll go. And it just happened that there was some offices at the International Petroleum to do the first batch of colors there in March. And one day, and then I just lived to a month, so for 5 hours. So I got my stuff there, but all my money goes to the rent, so that's why I'm a bit down. And yeah, this room, which was a guy, and I never didn't have time to use it. Uh, this is not mine. It's the only one that is not mine. It was clean and new, so I took it. Just painted over. So I got others ones here. Some misstained in case of mural next year. But when I was broke, I just took a credit, uh, which is not good. But they actually called me this today. Figure it out. Yeah, I'm not gonna show. Ooh, this is one of my favorite portraits. It's wonderful. So I got more there. They all to do there, this, and there's one here, and yes, yeah. So that will be a good start. I got some mediums there. One end is a close what I came start of my life. So took a lot of colors there. Thought, oh fuck. I said fuck because I washed it, and I think that's when everything started to go to shit because it was old. Anyways, kept clean for years, even on the go. So during COVID, so yeah, so there's a lot of work that I'm gonna have to do in 2 months, and that's about it. So if there's any group show or somebody that wants to hear a new voice, which mine is old but got sort of called strangles or whatever you call. So shouldn't say that. And what else? Yeah, that's about it. So let's go to work. What do I have? Markers. Markers. Yeah. So I'm serious. I just gotta. I smoke half a joint in 5 years. Not this week. This week I was depressed. Like a month ago. I was thinking about it yesterday, but no. So this is some research I did in 5, 10 years. Just wrote a book, and time to go to work. You guys, I want to see some. So I really need a guy or somebody like that would like the work. Take a chance of a no guy that is unfortunately I was lonely to only because I dedicated myself to art, and unfortunately I was a poet, and then writers are alone until they send their stuff, and because of that then I was a poet, a painter. I wanted to I just pray to give a style. And first time I heard a voice in my life, and I didn't hear for, I don't know, 10 years after, until fucking 5 years ago I sold my soul. So it was a bit more, a little bit before, but nicely if I would preach. And unfortunately, I went to this fucking dark side with sport gambling and stuff. And after a year or two, I was lost in translation in English, and I wanted to write a book, which is, and actually, this book will be read by almost every gambler, and there's millions. I mean, almost every gambler. It was big. It was so big that right now, bro, I I mostly took a break, but mostly because one of the techniques took me too much, like acting, and I didn't see the end of it. I think acting is just fake, and I don't know. Don't tell me why would you continue for a year. Um, because in a sense it was true, but sometimes, and before I got to the point to revise, I opened my door after my mom died, and I got my data stolen, and I kind of freaked out. Sent a letter to all the governments, and a dream that I had 8 years old, I didn't go up, and there was an alarm. I was kind of scared for the word for World War III. And I started back in a bit of July. I started to see some shit in design. I had a dream about it. I put it on YouTube, and I just got too much now, and that's why I'm mostly depressed. Because let's say somebody steal your shit for 2 years, it hurts, right? I got my shit stolen 2 3 months drawing and color it online, maybe 40 50 for poster of this style in 2012, after working 2 years on it, mostly for the church, volunteer, and then working for Catholic flyers, and a bit preaching and giving flyers silently in Toronto. And you know, I had a bit of chronic pain, so I didn't want to. I had a hard time to, I don't know, mostly integrate in the church. You know, going in morning. Now I don't have pain as much. I had 2 operations. And what can I say? Since then, 1 2 3 years ago, and the end of COVID, and then yeah, my computer disappeared. I'll be honest with you, it was the same night that I wrote on 411 torrent public, while downloading movies, that in French, that the Freemason were pieces of crap. That you know, from my background church, I realized, and God knows if this guy didn't like it. And 350 gigs of my 500 hard drive, boom, just that file. And I was like, our computer deleting big stuff, no copies. And no, they don't do that. They'll just stop downloading. And they came through the Wi-Fi connection of downloading movies, the torrent, you know, peer to peer. You know, there was already with trade. There was already posters ready to be printed, and I worked at a printing Catholic place, so I would have had the easy time. He gave me a Canon, bought his Canon 1000, whatever. They were nice, and it's sad. And, but I was saying, if you get stuff stolen 2 months, 2 years, you know, 2 months you can do it back. 2 years must hurt, right? But now 24 years, of course it's not all, but it feels honestly like out in my soul sucked out. Just a dream I had, muscular devil, 2019. I left a woman. She wanted to enter in the church, and some green mist sucked her out. I don't know if it was money, and I said, hey, I don't want to be the next one, and I left. I think I heard don't run, and I just walked. And two guys came because I was doing two sins, and now I understand all that after 5 years of experiencing interpretation. Those will be like two agents because I was doing some sins, two sins. At that time, I was swearing and smoking only. And so I had to follow them. And it was a basement. I think the shadow government sometimes, they meet there. And Shizzle trying to they put it on your arm, scare you some steel stuff, and then if you move, they get more mad and start cutting me. And I didn't want to have my arm cut, I guess art, and I just did a hex. And this is after I sent the picture. I went to hex daily for 2-3 months, and 2024 beginning. And I even had a dream back then. I wonder what Shizzle is talking about. And was the tape with the little harder tape, rectangular that I had on my camera and my computer. And I didn't share that dream, as many I didn't share. And that will be somebody, I wonder what Shizzle is talking about. Because there were two guys that came at that time across the street in Chinatown. They had a camera, like old camera. I mean, 70s camera, like almost GFK. And there were two like European white guys. And I just don't. They were just standing out of the blue in Chinatown, amongst almost drug addict in Vancouver, meaning vendor or tourist or Chinese. I mean, not tourist. And it just. Oh, somebody liked my publication. Thanks. And then I saw it across the street. And when somebody follows you on a big camera like this, and you see, I spotted them just by just going in and out quick for food. I spotted them and I just continued. I was messaging Prime Minister Viktor Orban and stuff and other people. And I just looked on my left across the street and somebody's following you, two guys, one muscular, nice dress, white. And this old camera is just like, it's a joke, like, it's almost 25% a threat if you don't join us with GFK, And I think they wanted me to know that I'm on camera because then they keep it and they want to see how is his reaction. That he knew that we were filming him like this. And I continue, and then the camera moved, and I heard my door was at the right soon, and I heard continue. So I continue like 10 steps or less, and I just felt like it was fake. And me researching, and you don't want fake to achieve greatness. So all this was fake. So I'm like, I literally stopped. I turned and looking at them across the street, on an angle backwards. It's, why are you moving me? I was crossing the street slowly, but to talk. Not aggressive, not fucking addict, not drugs. I was not taking drugs. Barely took drugs all my life because I had so much pain. And I didn't want to mingle with, today you're struggling hard, you don't part of a community or school. It's not like you had the hippies back then. But today it's just like smack and bad stuff. And so I never really, I never did. One time I had a bad girlfriend like this. That's another story. She was a lost artist and that abuser. That was a big mistake after I lost the church like 2014 to 16. But that's another story. I tried to help her and fall in love with the wrong person. And she had a really mental problem, but she was pretty. And I guess I fell for something like that. But it was a long time and whatever. Anyway, she died after I dropped her a couple of years later. I guess on fentanyl in front of a shooting place. So I go there. Well, when she was with me, she was never shooting. Even she was never shooting, just doing hard drugs and drinking, and I had no money and I was not drinking because I'm not. So these guys moving, I said, why are you moving me? And the shortest guy who had the camera, not the shortest, but more chubby, less muscular than the taller guy, like bodyguard, is like, why not? And I'm off the street. It's quiet. There's no car in the day. I say, he says, why not? With a little smile, but not a smirk evil. I think he was more young than the other guy was like in his 20s, maximum 32 or 30. So he was he was learning, to not say innocent. He was learning like me when you want to do good and you're still not corrupt to the worst, I guess. But that's, you know, his face was still like a child a little bit, like 75%. So he says, why not? And I said, if you guys are, you're lying. I said, you're lying all the time. You know, I just thought, the governments, they don't help people really. So I said, you're lying all the time. You're going to hell. And he kind of looked at me and he said, yeah. And it's still like the little smile because it went so fast. And I said, you guys going to hell. And at that time, I almost was besides them, but they were like 5 meter because I wanted to know I'm not aggressive. And the other guy that was between me and the other guy, really close to the other guy, the muscular, he did like a shot of the head to go forward. At that time, I think he dropped the camera when I said, you guys lying all the... He did like this, like, let's go there. And right in front, which was besides, I think, 2-3 doors of commercial besides my building, hotel I was living there. He did the head like this, like, let's go there. And I saw them going into that shop of Vietnamese Subway sandwich or something. I didn't look because I was all about work, and you have to do stuff, and you're just doing your stuff. And and before that, I don't know if there were, things you can say Russians, you can say communists. There was communists in Russia. Now it's more Zionists, and now it's also Freemasonry on top. So there's branches like this, and the Protestantists that it started all to go shit. So even like you see Zionists, it's Jews that don't respect the scriptures. They are not religious. They just like a racist bunch of people, in my opinion, in a sense, because okay, they think in the backwards how some of them got screwed during World War II, but that's living in the past. That's not, you can use that to excuse to fuck people up and go to some religious, bad writings that some people mad did throughout since the communists and before, actually way before they called bad books. Not the Torah of the prophets, the other people that were saying they were studying and they spew hate about other religions and people. But okay, that's a big movie. I'll stop it there, and it could continue so much, but yeah. So I guess I don't know. I'm going there, and if this doesn't, I won't even think that. Like, I took my time. I was so happy. It was pretty stuff also, and with these two people that came here and burst here and do his force over me, and you don't do that when you go to a place. And there was something off. He said he was in the army. He said German to the woman before ABC tax, Sarah Mary. They don't even have last name with another guy gave it. I think they were some kind of Jews from like not religious one, like there's a picture online, ABC tax. Just it's like the same, like I had the dream, like 1, 2, 3 scenes and of them, and I realized a bit later, and there I am in a place after 4 or 5 years, and by the mountains, almost by the river in North Van, alone, and doing a research, staying clean all the time, and there they come after I put a freaking ad. So the rent doubled. There were 3 rooms, now 2 rooms, and the landlord won't find somebody because he's not insured, and he doesn't want no more. That was me. And where I'm gonna put all these big stuff. So I need some help, and I don't want to help financially, pay the rent. What I need is I practice. What I need is to integrate slowly myself. And when I did show stuff, people liked it. And like Picasso, I don't care about sounding quick, sounding strong. I just have to send at the beginning, right? Thank you. Bye bye.